Genius of rock and roll. Mad genius of rock and roll.
Well, hello and welcome to the Daily Atheist Morning Show. I am your host, the amazing Super Chris. Thank you for joining me today. It's Thor's Day, the day of Thor. We're getting close to the weekend. I am eager and excited about the weekend. I got lots of things planned. Sinning, of course, lots of sinning. Blaspheming. I've been making a list of all the blaspheming I want to do. You guys can participate if you want to. We're going to do our normal stuff today. Have some fun. Looking forward to it. We have a poll of the day. We have scripture of the day. We have theocracy watch, all those fun things, and other stuff. We'll talk about it in just a minute. Boop. Today's world is confusing, and there's too much information for one person to make sense of it all. Which credit card should I pay off first? Is non-fat milk good for me? Who should I vote for? Let's face it, if you can't figure out high-interest milk, then how can you be expected to make political decisions that influence a country of over 325 million people? Well, that's why there's fascism. Fascism is the political, social, and economic system for today's world. The Merriam-Webster dictionary defines fascism as a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts a nation, and often race, above the individual, and that stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of the opposition. Choose this ideology and life will be easy. Did you ever look at someone who uses really big words and think, I wish those libs would just disappear? Well, under fascism, your dreams can come true. Under fascism, you won't have to worry about the pesky little things like brown people or atheists, or who in your country is entitled to basic human rights and who is not. Hint, hint, the answer is nobody. Yes, friends, this truly is the final solution you've been looking for. And if you're concerned if this form of authoritarianism will be up to your high standards, don't worry. American fascism will be the best fascism in the world because it's been endorsed by Jesus. So go out and destroy freedom and democracy by getting fascism today. Paid for by the Fascio-Conservative Party, formerly known as the GOP. All right, we are back, and we're ready for the weekend so far. Well, we're ready for Thursday to happen. I'm really ahead of myself today. Let me bring on my co-hosts.
You jumped
Rion, Cultastic.
Chris.
I know. Well, that's how eager I am, thusly, for the weekend. And we got
Me
our
too.
hearts. And there's Darante.
Hello.
Hey, good morning.
He has been pedaling.
Yes.
Because he's got to go do the thing, yeah.
Run around.
No. How are you guys doing today? Let me start with that. How are you guys doing? Let's start with Ryan this morning.
Yay.
Doing all right. I haven't been sleeping that great.
Oh,
Don't know
really?
why. Yeah, the past 2 nights I've just slept like crap. So I just feel very tired. And I don't feel as though I'm getting a lot done like I should be. So I'm hoping to get out of that soon. Otherwise,
Awesome.
I'm good. Oh no, Bafo says they have recurring nightmares. I used to have that really, really bad. Not as much anymore. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Let's go here. I don't do social. Well, I'm sorry. I hope you get some better sleep. I understand what the deal is. You're probably having those dreams about Ollie Dog and
Yay.
I know.
Running through the field, frolicking around.
With Ollie. I understand.
Yes.
I have those same kind of dreams too. Okay. Ollie's like, what? They say my name?
That's me.
And Darante, how's it going today? How'd your show go last night?
Oh man, it went phenomenal. We got through two chapters and 2 possibles last night. We'll play it like a spades hand. So we got through ultimately 4 chapters last night. It was really fun. Man, I've just been enjoying the flow. We pulled a lot. Who knew you could pull so much out of Leviticus? And we talked about how a lot of those things are playing out now. Like we just talked about, Leviticus 25 gets into the idea of blasphemy laws, and it's like one of the first times you see it in Scripture, where if somebody blasphemes the name, then you can stone them. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
And then you start
and not
watching.
with weed.
Right, yeah, like right, not the good way, you know.
Not the good kind of stuff. Understood.
And then I was, we kind of got in this conversation, of course, because there are several nations on this planet right now that absolutely do have blasphemy laws. And then I also reminded people that the U.S. has had blasphemy laws plenty of times. They just didn't call them that. But that's what Jim Crow laws were. They were blasphemy laws. A black person looking at a white person in the face was considered blasphemy. Emmett Till whistling at a white woman was considered blasphemy. And unfortunately, it looks like we're getting ready to take that route again, where we're going the more strict route, where this government is doing everything they can to protect Christianity. I think I just read something this morning where someone even put something on the books about Trump derangement syndrome, where someone's trying to make that a thing, where it's recognizable as a mental illness, where if you have anything negative to say about President Trump, you know, then something is wrong with you. And, you know, that's that's a scary place to be.
That's crazy.
They are
and you know,
really trying it.
They really are. I thought I heard something about that recently too. And part of the deal is, you know, they accuse us. So Trump is doing all these things, and if we resist, we have TDS. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm like, man, you guys, and they're the ones who are going around wearing Trump hats and Trump underwear and Trump flags on their vehicle. And
Yes.
They
And
don't
Trump
worship idols.
Yeah, but of course.
Oh.
Yes. Let me do my thing and say good morning to everyone. No Forgiveness was here this morning early.
Ooh, yes.
Smacking those kids.
About to stone himself.
Yeah,
Me too.
Yeah, same, friends. Dyslexia Jones, good morning. Vic Lit, why? Because we, bro. All you wonderful people. Giles has been here early. Let me see here. Bomb Poppy. Bomb Poppy, that is such a cool name.
I know, I like
dig
that
it.
one.
You know, every time I see it, I'm like this. It brings a tiny smile to my face. I don't know why. The politician that introduced the TDS bill was arrested the very next day for soliciting a minor for sex.
Wow. Lord. Talk
Yeah,
about
I
cosmic
think
justice.
I heard about that. Good morning, Tim Bigler. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm sure I missed somebody. There's John Hudson, the guy who brought up that bill. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, apparently that's been around. Let me see what kind of hate mail I'm getting here. Boring. I want good hate mail.
Good hate mail.
So I hope you guys are all ready for the weekend. I don't really have anything going on this weekend. I got Sci-Fi Saturday. I did plan all my shows for the rest of the week. Sci-Fi Saturday. There's Kyle. Good morning, Kyle. And Muttley was here. Katie Dotson is here. Poll suggestion was Paul an incel. Ooh.
He didn't like sex. Or girls.
That's true. Was he thus maybe not an incel?
Oh, yeah, true. So is that an incel? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Well, that's a part of the question. Was Paul an incel? I may steal it. I'm stealing that one. That was a gift that was given to me. I saw it in the chat. They can't take it back.
Chris, take it.
Incel.
And Chris, take it.
That's true. There we go. Ugh, coffee. Coffee is good. Coffee, I love you. You make me glow. My nerves don't like you, but what do they know?
Shut up, nerves.
Shut up, nerves. And they're just sitting over there twitching.
Switching away.
Ryan said too much coffee makes her heart hurt. I was like, oh, that's what that is.
That's what that is.
Oh.
So if you see me, I'll be going like, oh,
I have a heart.
Oh, man.
Thank you, Katie. Good morning, Jason. Nice to have
Jason.
you with us. Ben Nine Lives is here. Good morning, fellow heathens.
Yes.
Welcome to the Daily Atheist
Yes.
Morning Show, fellow
Welcome,
burners.
skeptic.
Thank you for joining us at this ungodly hour.
Oof,
That's
we're here.
I like those things. I know. John Hudson says coffee makes me poo. It's a timing thing. You know, I mean, get up in the morning, do your morning cleanse. Whatever.
Morning routine. Do it with us.
You know?
Yay.
Just think, you know, if you're like a jogger or something, just get all lighter before you go. Don't carry that around with you. There,
Oh, coffee is good for the prostate.
Yay.
there you go. Yes, but you know, it's hard getting it up there on the prostate. Try. Got a squirt bottle.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Like one of them mustard bottles, you know, you get it.
Oh no, like a turkey baster.
Better.
You remember those douches from like the 1950s, the red bag that they'd hang up in the shower?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fill that with
wow.
coffee.
oh my
Yeah,
do
got a
that.
whole pot in that sucker. I got a big ass.
That. They do it a lot.
I haven't had coffee in years.
People are stupid. They put things in their holes they really shouldn't.
Yeah, like hamsters, I've heard.
Look you, Richard Gere. I know that's just made up. Richard Gere, if you're watching, I'm sorry, man. That's just made up. I should not propagate
Allegedly.
that myth.
Allegedly.
But I hear there's a tell-all where the hamster comes out of the closet. Has photographs and everything. Saying. Again, Richard, if you're watching, sorry. Man, you guys started out funny early this morning, I tell you.
Oh man.
Right out the gate.
Let's see here. What's that?
Right out of the gate.
I know.
Right out
James
of the gate.
Cordletta is here, says it burns. Well, I would like to. It just depends on how you like your coffee in your butt. You know, you can regulate the temperature
You can do
somehow,
it
I'm
iced.
sure. Blow on it. You can do it iced.
Oh man.
What were you doing today? I was blowing on my butthole.
Oh man. That is hilarious.
I'll be okay.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
Obi Atheist says that Chris, somewhere there's a guy getting off in the coffee.
Like why?
That's Raven Lunatic.
Oh man.
Now we know where Raven's been. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Where has
Iced
Raven been?
I don't know. Comes and goes. I think he does things out stalking, going here and there about the world, I think.
To and fro.
Quite, yes, to and fro. AR says iced coffee enema. I know. The fun part's getting the ice cubes in there.
Yikes.
Oh, I bet people do that a lot.
That's
Wear
probably
gloves, my friends. Send safely.
That's a different type of bead situation, I'm guessing.
At least it would be safe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Instead of
Yes,
because people put things in there without a string and it, just goes in there. It sucks it on up. It's a vacuum.
That's true. That's true.
So-
At least this would disappear.
Right. Not that much
Yeah.
harm. I mean, I don't know how
Yeah.
good it would feel. I'm not recommending it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Back at Father Flanagan's laboratories.
Oh my.
Dry ice, Ben. No, Ben. Not
Right, ice.
why is your butthole
No,
stinging?
no. That's bad. Giles says you'd fart smoke. Yeah, that'd be the least of your problems.
Oh man.
Freezer burn on your rectal vault would probably be right up there.
Yeah, that doesn't seem great.
It's,
Don't boost dry ice.
it's never as fun as it sounds. I'm just saying.
Yikes.
Oh my gosh.
Sumami asks, AR, did you ever see the coffee enema people on TLC? I have seen that. I did not make these jokes up. That's where that came
No.
from. Yeah, it's a real deal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a real deal. They take it like medicine or
Oh.
like a
like an
holistic
addiction?
view about it. Well,
I know. Didn't alcoholics used to do something similar to that with their alcohol? To take it
boosting.
up the rear?
I think
maybe.
did we talk
I
about
think that's
that?
a thing.
To
Yeah.
avoid, it's supposed to be avoiding something and it gets you drunker quicker.
It does.
Man, I
'cause
don't-
it avoids your liver. I think it doesn't get the process. It just goes straight into your bloodstream.
Into your
I believe.
bloodstream.
Yeah.
That's the best
Wow.
things I've heard. I've heard. Wasn't there a time where they were putting air, like compressed air into their lutees? I thought that was a thing.
Oh, like to pump the booty up to get
Yeah, or something, and that's some kind of thing. To
like they put a lot of things in their booty.
They put a lot of things. And people
Some
put
people
like,
were
it
putting
must be
semen
fun.
in people's booty at one point. Like,
Really?
Yes.
That's weird. Not like a romantic kind of situation.
That does not sound safe.
It was
It
not.
did not.
It did not. It did not end great for that person.
Did not end well.
Yes. Well, generally, when we speak of that, we mean put them in there for a pleasurable reason. Richard, again, looking at you, Richard. Richard, if you're watching. Or, hey, if the gerbil is watching. Gerbil, if you're watching.
Me too, no
Tristan.
forgiveness.
Yes. Tristan, good morning. Tristan MB, thank you for joining us. Glad to have all you here. Baffo Jr. says, I want to draw Mr. Baffo Met. I think he looks cool mostly. Yeah, sure. That sounds fun. What's up, heathen? Says Brent A. I think he's talking to us.
Wow.
Maybe.
Yay.
Probably. More than likely. Yes.
AR says, yes, butt chugging. That sounds romantic.
Yeah, butt chugging.
Butt chugging. How about that on a first date? Hey, baby, how you doing?
Butt
You want to go
chugging?
butt chugging with me?
How did they figure this out? Like, who came up with this? Just saw that bottle and said, you know what? I bet you if I sit on it, I can get drunker faster.
Yeah. Or the coffee one, either one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really sure.
The evil
The
one.
evil one is among us. Okay. Now, just for the evil one says, the stories I could tell.
I'm sure.
Now, I want to mention that the evil one, and most people already know this is no state secret, is a nurse and has been for many
That's
years.
right. Yes.
Of an advanced
professional.
nature. Quite advanced nature. And she has seen many a thing coming out of people's bouteilles. And she says morning to everyone. Yes. Good morning, beautiful. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hurry home to me. It's almost the weekend. Yes, she's so wonderful. She puts up with me. So yes, there are a lot of things, and you can go on the interwebs and find all manner of things.
I've witnessed it. I've
she's
witnessed
witnessed
it come back on my table, but still vibrating. Because they had to go into the OR. That's how.
What did I
serious it
miss?
is.
Hold up.
Yeah, wait. What? Where was your table?
What's vibrating on the table?
What kind of table was this? What were you doing? Did you wear gloves?
Oh yeah, I'm gowned, fully gowned. They were processing, so I would be the one who would have to clean the instruments after surgery and then process them and then sterilize them. Right. So there was a couple times, people had to go in for emergent surgery to remove something from the back end that they put up there that they shouldn't, and this time it was still on.
Really? Oh wow.
They thought it was funny, so they left it on for me.
It should have been. It should have been a singing one, so it comes out like "Hello, Mara, hello, Mara."
Hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello, my gal.
Oh
Okay, the
man.
things you
Many
find. The many things retrieved from said bouteille. Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. She could probably do her own YouTube channel just with war stories of her years in the,
That would be fun.
HIPAA, of course, monitored, maintained, but still.
Oh,
Which Master General? Good morning, Vietnam. Oh, good morning, Vietnam. Oh, good morning, all you wonderful people, and you not so wonderful people, and you jerks. Good morning to everyone. And good morning, beautiful. Again, nice to see you.
Good
work.
vibrations.
Until they're not. Good morning, left-handed Jedi. Until somebody else is removing that good vibrations from your record.
I feel
In a very public fashion.
Oh man.
But I guess there's some people into that sort of thing.
Oh
Pay
man.
extra, I am just saying. I've got this here pang burn thing. I want to remind everybody we have this thing coming up. So I want to play us a tiny little reminder commercial. Yes. So for those who don't know, we're doing a fundraiser for the Ark Encounter protest, and we are, of course, then going to be in Williamsburg, Kentucky, for the Ark Encounter protest in July. Looking forward to that. And our anniversary, me and the evil one. This is interesting information for those who want to know. Our anniversary is the 4th of July. And that's our big 10 years.
Oh, you guys are so patriotic.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
I know. I knew it would, but
and you can imagine, right, from my perspective about and how we're liberal left-wing nutbags, and the right-wing people have turned being patriotic into a treasonous, ugly, hateful thing, you know?
Yeah,
so
it's
no, that wasn't done for that. Yeah.
No, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Not. Yeah.
But yeah, so therefore that weekend we'll be celebrating in a way our anniversary, except for I'll be there and, you know, she'll be here. We'll see. But, you know, hey, maybe that fundraiser will help us get more funds to travel. I don't know. But I doubt it. That's not for us. It's for the thing. Wow. Infidel says, good morning. My arm is an American flag and a bald eagle. Seriously, from before I was this, more than half asleep. Really interesting.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. I've always wanted to sleep, but I just wanted to be able to take it off, though.
You want to take
Just
your sleeve off and on.
Didn't want it to be permanent.
Yeah. No, like I'm way too indecisive to have anything permanent on me. I'd like.
That.
I was into that. For,
Yeah,
you know,
like
I have to say,
Yeah.
my first tattoo over here. Should I share this with you guys? I'll share this with you guys.
Yeah,
My
sure.
first tattoo was over here. It was a rebel flag. I guess you'd call it. We would actually nowadays call it the Confederate battle flag. Just the you know. And underneath it had hawk, because I thought I was going to be, you know, that's what it was so poorly done. It was done with parts of a VCR, like a VCR motor, a needle, some India ink, some thread, you know, a spoon. No, not a spoon. It was a pen, hollowed out pen. You know, I mean, it's a shitty tattoo. It did not last, but I got it covered up with anything else later. Of course, back then, I didn't know anything about you know, rebels and the Union and the rebels, and that's all I knew. It's like Star Wars, you know, until I got older and I was like, oh shit,
Right. You're like, oh.
Like I went to
hell?
I went to two schools, an elementary school and a middle school, where that was the mascot. The mascot was a rebel with the rebel flag at two of those schools, and I was just like, huh. It was a very interesting situation. I got kicked out of one of them. I'm not allowed back on their campus to this day.
Well, that's a badge of honor, you know? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I lead riots.
Okay.
Real quick, Trina says, at least you picked a date you wouldn't forget. That's true. And the evil one says, Trina, I picked that date for a reason. She picked it. The evil one picked that date. I didn't pick it. But she did point out that I can never forget it. There are fireworks to remind me. And really, the way I see it is the entire nation celebrates our reunion.
That's a great way to
I
look
like
at it.
that. I like
Welcome,
that.
everybody.
I'm a sweetie. I'm like a hard crunchy on the outside. But once you get on the inside,
You're chewy.
I'm also kind of hard crunchy. But then once you get onto the deep inside, then there's like a soft gooey middle.
Just oozes out.
It more often than I'd like to admit. There's a lot of oozing. The older I get, the more oozing there is.
Ooze.
Oh.
Does that remind me of two movies, Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles? When I think ooze, I go to both of those
Oh,
movies.
yeah. I don't know about Power Rangers. I missed most of that, but Ninja Turtles for sure. Yeah,
Yes.
I remember the Ninja Turtles and the ooze.
Yes.
Good morning, Exorcist Atheist. Well, it's about time you got here. We've been waiting for you.
The demons
you
have been
finally showed up?
bothering me. Need
The
you
demons.
What's that?
The demons have been bothering me. I need them to exercise them.
Oh, really?
You know,
Really?
just run them around a little bit, get them pumped up.
I used to be an exorcist.
Did you really?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't call them that in our thing. I was a demon buster. So if people felt like they had a demon or somebody in their house had a demon, they'd call me and my friend, and we'd come cast the devil out. And there was a time where we thought the person had died, and I stopped doing it shortly after that because I was like, that was way too close. Yeah.
Well, how many times throughout history have people interpreted something like drug addiction or alcohol withdrawals or something like that as sort of being some sort of, it's just cray.
What you see a lot in a lot of these Pentecostal holiness churches, which is why I do remind people, as bad as the mega churches are, it's those smaller churches that are doing a lot of damage because they have no oversight. Nobody sees anything that's happening. And so even basic mental health issues, autism, any of those things get treated like demon possession. and a lot of those children get tortured.
Oh,
You know, you're saying the most serious things. And
I just saw it. I just saw it.
I wasn't laughing at what you were saying.
I was laughing at Chris' discharge.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
Mudley Von Erich says, for $2, thank you for the super chat, says, Chris has a discharge. Time to burn a goat scented flesh candle, right? We're moving away from the actual goats. Right, honey? Nah, we're moving away from the goats.
Yep.
They make little thin pads for the discharge.
Oh,
I recommend that. Not the
Wow.
big thick pad, just a little thin pad.
Depends on your level of discharge. Some bragging rights here, lady. I used to be able to shoot over the hood of a truck when I The wife's going, did he really just say that? He did just say that. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You guys are fantastic. Infidel, good morning. Scientific literacy. That's what my mother sees as a demon. Wow. Yeah.
I know
that is
people like
kinda
that.
strange.
Yeah, I know there are people in my life who see me setting boundaries as demonic, where I'm like, hey, fool me like 15 damn times. I'm not going to let you do it anymore. So it's like, oh, the devil has gotten you now. It's just like, oh, okay.
How dare you not be there when I need you?
Yep.
Earlier, you were like, I was an exorcist, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, I was the reason why people needed exorcists.
You drove him to it.
Good morning, Otenki
man.
Kurai. Eating bad lobster, that's pretty demonic. Well, I tell you what, eating good lobsters, I don't eat that stuff. It's like roaches from the sea. I don't eat any. I
love roaches.
Wrong kind of roaches.
I got a few in this ashtray right now, I'll tell you that.
If it
Actually,
screams
no,
when you
lots.
smoke it, it's the wrong kind of roach. I'm just saying.
I mean, have you tried?
Oh, man.
Hey, don't judge me. You don't know what I've tried. Oh, I tell you, I worked in apartment maintenance a long time ago, and I walked into this apartment. I didn't have my glasses on. I didn't actually have glasses at the time. And they were talking about their roach problem, and I was like, what roach problem? I mean, maybe your floor's a little dirty, because I thought there was just dirt on the floor. But when I put my glasses on, it was just pieces and pieces and pieces of roach. So much so that if you didn't have your glasses on, it was just a little fuzzy. You would think it was just like dirt, like a wind had blown dust into the floor. Yeah, so roaches, I don't really like roaches.
God.
Go through extremes. And that's great. I could easily believe insects are from another world. I could see that.
Oh, yeah, they are otherworldly. Mm-hmm. Out of all the things we could have evolved into, I'm so glad we didn't go that direction.
So glad.
Man.
Simply Secular Dave says, hashtag ocean roach.
Ocean roach. I want to see that. I feel like that should be a show now. Like Ocean Roach. Like I'd watch it. Like, is he friends with SpongeBob? Like it's Ocean Roach and
Those
SpongeBob.
fan fleas are nasty.
Ooh.
Thinking more like
guys.
Oh no. I'm thinking more like Deep Star 6, if you remember Deep Star 6.
Ooh, wow.
That one with the creature that was like the size of a small and had the
Oh, snap.
Yeah. It was like a crustacean. The monster of this show is like a crustacean. When it opened its mouth, it had like two pieces that come up, like one that went down like that. And
Oh, my goodness.
Crusty crustacean.
Crusty crustacean.
and very angry,
Crusty
very
crab.
rude crustacean. Very
Yeah, the
rude.
crusty crab.
All right, I tell you what. That's what I'm going to do. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to run a Christmas commercial, 1 minute, and then when we get back, we will do our Theocracy Watch with Rion. Super cultastic. Here we go. Let's go. Where was it?
Hello all, Chris Mallard here, atheist extraordinaire, host of the Daily Atheist Morning Show, and currently burning in hell. Oh, don't worry about me, I'm not dead. I'm just down here for the annual Christmas party. I mean, annual Solstice Awards party. The Dark One, or Lucy as he is affectionately known, is personally handing out the awards. Aaron Ra's getting the award for the most souls brought down by evolution for his African fossil hunt, and Matt Dillahunty has won the Golden Phallus Award for being a dick to the most Christians. Oh wait, it's the Golden Fallacy Award for the confusing the most Christians. Easy mistake to make. To top it off, Seth Andrews has lent his voice to the Gregorian chants this year. It's delightfully hellish. Gotta run. I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving, if you're into that sort of thing, and I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I mean, a happy holidays, happy solstice, and a happy new year. Stay safe, heathens. Party hard, fornicate, that sort of thing. But do it safely.
I like titties of all size. Well,
Don't we
great
all?
place to come back in.
It really was. Welcome back to the show. We were talking about the conversation in the chat with milking almonds, and it just came at us so fast. Yes, see, she's milking almonds. That's fantastic.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Let's see. On his chest. Chris was younger there. Where was I? Oh yeah, that was man, that was 2019 or some business. That was a long time ago.
I think it's the hair,
moons. What's that?
I think it's the short hair, though.
Yeah, I had a lot less hair. I mean, that was
pumps.
before I was all natural. That was before because I do dutasteride and I do minoxidil for my hairs, and that was before all that. What'd they say? Are they picking on us, D?
No, just like Miss Non Sequitur was like, I agree wholeheartedly. All titties are good titties.
Oh my goodness.
That's right. That's right.
And then Infidel says, I like them brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, or Haitian as long as they're not defending a religious nation.
Yes.
True.
Infidel.
I am also an appreciator of the boob.
Yes.
Indeed. And not just the blue ones. I mean, well, blue's cool. If you paint them blue, I'll watch you paint them blue. That's cool. But I'm all about the free the nipple campaign. You know, it's a religious oppression is what it is.
Yep.
Especially it's religious oppression of women, because if they really cared about nipples per se, they wouldn't let male nipples be seen. But male nipples can be seen.
Yeah.
You want to see my nipples?
It does seem a bit strange. It's like sexualizing us.
It is. Very much so.
And we
Very
can't
much so.
sexualize you, because I mean, I like a male nipple too. I like a nipple.
There you
I
go.
don't even have to have a nipple. It's fine. Whatever.
There you go. I'm all about it too. I can't wait.
Look in the opposite
Well, as soon
direction.
as society finishes collapsing and there's no more rules, we can have all the nipples on our show we want.
Oh, yeah.
The extra one added to me just so I have one.
Well, you
There
know,
you go.
when you go on the Apostate Sisters, they have a stress boob with a nipple attached to it. That they have.
Do.
Right.
Yeah.
They do. That is fantastic. I've really
Like a
enjoyed the
nipple.
stress boob.
Yes.
It flexes. It adjusted. Oh, hey, Patty is here. She says that's why Nancy and I have squishy plastic nipples in our streams. For a little exposure therapy. I dig it.
Yes.
You know, there was
Expose
a
me.
time. That's right. There was a time in history where certain in like European, it was like a 17th century some business. The women's shirts would actually show their boobs. There was certain queens started. I don't remember. I recently read about it. Had it for a while where they would show their boobs, and then the entire Minoan culture was all about women having their
Oh, yeah, the
titties
Minoans
out
are
all
amazing.
the time. Yeah.
Show us your boobs.
Very matriarchal system.
Yes, I'm all about that. Me and boobs, we go way back. Way back.
Yes.
Thanks for mentioning the stress boob. No worries. Yeah, don't. If you guys aren't already, go subscribe to the Apostate Sisters. Please feel free to drop links.
Have
Patty,
they hit
and we'll have
1,000
people-
subscribers yet? Because yesterday when I saw, they were like 2 away.
Oh, really? You've
Yeah.
only
How
1,000.
exciting.
They really need more.
They definitely need more, but I was
They
like, okay,
definitely
well
need more.
that's a monumental number. So
Yeah.
Oh, who wants to be their 1,000th subscriber? Let's do it on the show. Let's do it on the show.
Let's go. Let's
So,
go.
bump. Baffo
Please
Jr. says, I'll toss a link.
yes,
That's fantastic.
999 subscribers, y'all. Come the
Yes.
frick on.
Let's go.
Yes, see, it's going to happen right here.
Let's go.
In front of God and everybody. We're going to
Right?
sin en masse. Brooklyn
Getting
is
ready to
skeptic.
happen.
Let me see if I can find them. Beep, 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 beep.
I gotta
Okay,
watch that
so-
Maya interview.
There we go. Pasta. Oh, nope, that's not it. YouTube can be frustrating sometimes.
Rude.
Apostate Sisters. I'm looking for it. Somebody else may beat me to it, but that's okay. I would find you. Oh, let me just search.
Somebody
Somebody get there. I'm already subscribed. 1,000. Yay, no forgiveness did it. Let me refresh.
Yay.
Let me refresh. Let's go. Let's go. 1K. Let's go.
Thank you very much for the super chat.
That's beautiful.
Puppy says, "Oh, jellicle particle."
Jellicle particle. I love that.
Jellicle particle. That is happy.
It is. Says, my mornings have been so much better since I found your show.
Oh.
Thanks all. Can I get the fireworks, Ryan? She needs fireworks, Ryan.
I don't know if I have fireworks.
Yes.
There. Oh, look at there. Thank you very much, Poppy, for
I
the
do have a. I do have a rain cloud.
Get in there. Get in there. It won't do it, man.
Oh, there's fireworks.
Why is this thing being a jerk?
I did.
Oh,
Being a
man.
jerk.
Thank you so
All
much.
right.
I figured it out.
There we go. Yay. All right. So that's very cool. We've got them. Yes, it says 1K subscribers here. Hooah. You know, I could have just typed that in. You freaking jerk. For all the trouble it took me to go find that, I could have just typed it in.
Yeah, I like all my 666s in address too.
Let's see. 999 is just 666 in address, which is right there. Hey, that's cool. I dig it. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I still got this little note here. Paul was an incel. All right, I guess we're now ready. If you are ready, Miss Ryan, we're ready to go do our Theocracy Watch. I'm going to mash the button. Here I go.
You're tuned into the Atheist Morning Show on the DAM Network. And this is Theocracy Watch.
Welcome back to Theocracy Watch, my fellow skeptics. Today is Thursday, and Ohio has recently enacted a controversial Parents' Bill of Rights, sparking major concerns about educational freedom and student personal safety. Schools must notify parents about any significant changes in their child's health or well-being, which could potentially force schools to expose LGBTQIA students against their wishes, for example. Parents have greater power to remove their kids from lessons they feel go against their faith, especially regarding sex education and gender identity, therefore increasing censorship pressures on educators. For instance, a high school health teacher might fear backlash from parents and decide not to cover topics like contraception or consent adequately, which could lead to higher risk of unintended pregnancies, STDs, or unsafe relationships. Or maybe your child is depressed due to some issues at home, and under this new policy, counselors are required to inform parents, which may make children less inclined to ask for help when they need it. And with the increased pressures to accommodate religious exemptions, schools are effectively steered by more faith-based interference in public education. This policy could make educators afraid to address critical issues openly, leaving students vulnerable without the school support system. And for many kids, the school is their sanctuary. So marginalized kids may face heightened risks and isolation with fewer safe spaces available. The rudimentary changes to the education system aren't to protect kids. And if it was, maybe they would do something about school shootings, right?
Yeah.
This is about extreme religious agenda that excludes and silences kids. So if you have kids that are school age, it is important that you get involved and become a part of that school system. So until next time, stay aware, stay skeptical. This has been Theocracy Watch. See you next time.
Wow.
Well, thank you for that. You know, I want to mention that conservatives have been. I know some kids think of the school as a safe space sometimes if they can, but conservatives have been known to go after kids in schools, and I don't even mean with weapons, although that's generally what could be said.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. I mean, they go after. Remember Tim Walz was running for vice president, and they kept trying to publicly bash him for supporting women's or girls' female hygiene products in school bathrooms.
Right.
And they vilified him for that. And they had no problem going into there and trying to make life harder on kids in the bathroom right there.
Yep. And that's just for simple products, hygiene products.
Just
That
simple
really,
hygiene
I
products.
feel like kids should have access to it everywhere.
Absolutely. And you know, one of
kids run around with bloodstained underwear. I'm just saying.
Right. Yeah.
Right. And the notion that it's going to harm boys' psyches somehow for it to be in the bathroom is just
That's
nuts.
so
Because,
weird.
I mean, half of us boys, I guess, I grew up with a sister.
Yeah.
She had
Why-
products. It didn't traumatize me. My mom was, I remember my mom having products and rap, and that stuff didn't traumatize me. I lived.
Why do we have to infantilize men?
Yeah.
Like you're
So-
incapable
Oh, that's a
of
great way to
understanding-
put that. Yes.
Right, like they're unable to understand science, what happens
Yes.
to bodies and hormones, and like, hello, I don't get it.
Very true. Very true. It's just one of those things. It just, they have no problem going after the kids in the schools and doing anything they can to hurt them. It's conservatives just been known for. It's not a surprise. I want to mention that we do now have news at thedamnshow.com. Email address. It's up and going. News at thedamnshow.com. So if you see any kind of news out there,
Yeah.
go ahead and send us a link
Please
and
do.
let us know, and I'll forward that on to Ryan, and she'll be able to check it out and
I'd love that.
get us some news. Yeah. So just remember, news at thedamnshow.com. If you see an interesting news article or you think something is pertinent to the show, let us know. Send it our way. All right. Thank you very much.
What infidel? He talked at when was this? Is this after that judgment was made? Anyway, sorry.
Wow, that's
no.
crazy.
But yeah. No surprise. All right. Thank you very much for that, though. So Brooklyn Lou says, great commentary. It's going to get more bizarre with Trump getting rid of Department of Education. We've been saying part of the role of the Department of Education, like it or not, is that it's supposed to protect people from, or our children from, the partial religious indoctrination as best as it can. But
Right.
now that it's going to be gone, every little school board is going to be able to determine how much of the Holy Bible they want to put into each classroom and how much kids have to do. We'll just watch. I know some people say it's just being alarmist of me.
No, that's not being alarmist. That's recognizing patterns.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Indeed. And Infidel says Conor the Grapist McGregor spoke at the White House and said he doesn't like it. Speaking of feminine hygiene products.
Wow.
Well, if the wife beater doesn't like it, then I guess I
Right.
have to hate it.
I know. Again, look who they look to for their morals.
They idolize
Bible,
these
what-
weirdos
these
because they
peoples.
did it in the Bible.
Yes. Apostate Sister says terrifying to look at any of the Bible as a classroom tool, as fit for the classroom at all, outside of like a mythology classroom, or maybe a why you should avoid religion classroom.
Right.
We really should
Right.
have a why you should avoid
Maybe
religion.
it should be in school, but get better education on it.
Yeah, like it should be in comparative mythology or comparative religion.
There you go.
And that's the safest way to put it out there, because then you get to see it with the other stuff, and it's just like, oh, okay. Like Zeus did some horrible things. None of us are out there trying to do those things in the name of Zeus.
Well, speaking of, I mean, that guy had some stones.
Right? Make
And he
America
shared them with
Alabama.
everyone.
Pretty much.
Those stories they're awesome though, right?
Yes.
They're so
As
super
stories.
Cool.
As stories.
It's like
Yep.
Marvel of their day,
Yep.
And if we'd have treated it like that, that'd have been so much better off.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It does kind of get scary as to the things that people will do for the silliness they believe. This whole, have you noticed that I posted the question the other day of, was Jesus gay? And people are like, that's silly. He didn't exist. Right? So people are like,
Yes.
well, and then my response has been every time they're like, I know he didn't exist, but was he gay?
Right.
Bert and Ernie don't exist,
Right. But we know.
but we
We know.
We know. All right. So, and that's just, I didn't even explain to Bert and Ernie. All I've done is just go, I know he didn't exist, but was he?
Man.
And I leave it at that. It's fantastic.
That's hilarious.
We know millions of years of periods, and now it's strange because of some fairy tale. Oh, Tenshi Kurai, I want to mention one of the things that we have discovered on this show. Darante and I, we unlocked this mystery of the Bible ourselves. I actually watched him do it, really. I helped. I'm an instigator. But we learned, my friend, we together learned that God loves blood.
He does.
Unless
He does.
it comes from the crotch of a female.
That's right.
And if it comes from the crotch of a female, it's like the anti-God spray that you could put in a jar and just... Yeah, he
Right.
hates menstrual... Yes,
Coochie
but he loves
juice.
blood and coochie juice. Yeah, hemoglobin infused coochie juice. You know,
That's
I
why
don't think
he
they
didn't
even.
have sex with Mary.
Oh,
He just had Gabriel go do it. He's like, you go bang her.
you go, yeah.
It's from me, because I ain't touching that coochie.
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness, you guys ain't right in the head. That's why I got you on the show. Good morning, Wes. How are you doing? I hope
Wes is in the building.
Wes is in the house. Let me say, my friends, we're trying to grow the show. We're always trying to grow the show. If you don't mind, share the stream
Share it.
out there to whatever social media that you do, if you don't mind. If you don't do social media, I understand. Some people, I like share the stream and they're like, their eyes starts twitching. I'm like, no, not you, not Twitch. Because I understand. There's some social medias I don't. If you came on there and you're like, share it to X, I'm like, no, I don't do X. So I feel you. But if you do, share it. Yes. Because we crazy. You need everyone else to know we crazy.
We be crazy.
That's right.
They might get afraid and run off.
Well, you know, usually the first thing they do when they come in, they land in the stream and they have to subscribe before they can even chat. And then they're like,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
that smell?
Yeah.
I wonder how many of them have actually subscribed just long enough to say, I don't like this show. And I'm unsubscribing. We
yeah.
saw one the other day.
I was like, oh, way to announce that you're a loser, buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
You don't even have to put it on a hat.
Right?
Stu Denham says I'm on MySpace if that helps. You know, my demographic does seem to be the older.
Shoot,
older
we
group.
might get a lot of people from my
I used to be on MySpace. I think I still have a music page on MySpace.
I
Okay.
did too.
Here's a thought. Now, this is just a crazy thought. Bear with me as I throw a crazy thought out there. But I've become to the understanding, this is how I see things, is that the show's demographic and viewers started out being older male, but, you know,
Yeah.
as it goes over time, I've noticed that we get a lot of female of all ages, it seems, viewers.
Ooh.
And the suggestion by the evil one was that the reason why is because we have fun, we're more lighthearted, we're not yelling at people most of the time, stuff like that. So the thought is this would be more of a channel that, you know, we have a more diverse audience of both older men, younger to middle-aged women. I mean, it's really, really cool to see the interesting demographic that we've been building with the show. Are there... is there a way to share the show to other women-oriented groups? Does that make sense? I mean, yeah, Facebook. Do you have a girls group on Facebook, you know, atheists, God haters or whatever on girl atheist, God, whatever on Facebook that you're part of? I don't know. Is there ways that we can reach out more to female audiences? It's kind of, that's what all that I said just so I could say, could we reach more female audiences?
Sometimes it works like that, Chris.
It was so hard. It was so hard.
Took all day to get there.
It did. It did. More. Oh, okay. Miss Non Sequitur says more Wild Bill will do it. Okay. Actually, Wild Bill is.
Wild.
Well, yes, we have Wild Bill coming. I keep saying Wild Bill's on his way, and I even found Wild Bill. I'm just a slacker, but I've got a break, and I'm going to do stuff. Don't worry, Wild Bill will be here. He may even wear pants this time.
TikTok is probably a good place.
Trina says you'll reach more female audiences with Bill. I like that.
Yeah.
They'll stick around for Bill. Okay. Brooklyn the Lou, the skeptic, says morning shows are supposed to be light and fun. Long history of that, and morning radio shows. Yes, thank you,
Yeah.
Brooklyn Lou. Oh man, thank you. I've been working. That's been the goal. That's what I've been building towards. I found these funny people to join me. We've got green screen situations happening. I'm actually going to put us all in a kind of studio situation. I swear, Darante, I swear I'm going to send you a green screen. I got it. You know?
Oh yeah.
I do. The hard part is what may happen is it may cost more.
Send you one.
It may cost more to ship it than it is to just buy you one and have it
That's
shipped
what I'm
to you.
saying.
You know?
Honestly,
Wow,
it probably
yeah.
cost you like $15 to ship it, and you can get free shipping from like Amazon. I hate you, Amazon.
Dang, that's
I
crazy.
hate you. Damn you, Amazon.
Seriously.
But yeah, you know what I mean. So, but once we do that, and we're all set up. Then I'm going to start building us a new show and putting us in the same zone together. It's going to be very cool.
I think so. I think why? Because weed. I just people knew who I'm talking to. Said 20% serious, 80% humor seems to work. I do think that that's a good
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
I like.
Because you want people to know that you have intellect and you can get deep.
Yeah.
But if you stay there for a morning show, if you stay there, it's gonna start to get
Yeah.
the vibe. The vibe's gonna not go.
True.
Yes.
I think we got a happy balance going on here. The evil one says Bill is a panty dropper.
Panty dropper.
Indeed.
Just said, keep that hat on, baby.
It's panty dropping time.
Keep the hat on. Don't talk to me. Just keep the hat on. And the boots.
She said she took some tape and said, here, just
Yeah. Yep. True enough. Wonderful. You guys are also wonderful. Everyone loves Willie Gigglestick. That's fantastic. And we really do. We have so much coming. I need to get off my ass, because once you see it, you're gonna. And that's part of the deal. I talk it up so much. Then I'm ready to work on something. I'm like, oh man, I read back my script. I'm like, this is not nearly as up as I said it was going to be. This is not as funny or as cool. I need to.
it's such an undertaking. It really is. Like it could be like a week long just to think it all out, and then when you edit it, like the editing, like even if you acted it out well, or the editing can just totally ruin it.
Yes.
Womp womp.
Womp
You gotta be good at all these things sometimes just to get the great video.
Yep.
That's true. That's true. I am Wile E. Coyote Super Genius. So let's see what I
fair.
can do.
Ooh. I like that.
Let's see. Yeah. Have brain, will travel. Apostate Sisters Patty asks, wait, where are you hanging that hat, Chris? I do hang it. It hangs.
Does your hat hang low?
Anywhere it can. Well, you know, the evil one. Oh, that's good. Why's name is Bill. Weed's name is Bill. So everybody talking about how Bill is a panty dropper. Is really a boost for
Bill.
why? Because Weed Bros confidence, I think.
Oh, that's awesome.
I got
Better laugh than to cry. That's right.
Yeah. Even whenever I want to cry, I'm usually laughing. I'm like, why am I crying? I'm crying.
Goodness gracious. The evil one, when I was younger, I always said I was the panty catcher. I used to have a yellow Dodge Charger. It was a Super Bee, 2012. And I was like, that's a panty dropper, but it really wasn't. Men like it, women not so much.
Typically how that goes.
Took me a long time to figure that out, you know. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. I tell you what we got. We've got just a moment. I'm going to go fill up my coffee here. I'm going to throw people some goats. They've been asking. I saw goats earlier. And whenever we come back, we will do our scripture of the day with D-Man. So we'll be back in just a
Yay!
Have you sinned again? Oh, and it's bad this time. A chicken just won't do. But wait, you don't have a goat for your burnt offering. Oh no, the Lord's wrath is upon you.
Insignificant person whose name I don't know, you have sinned. Probably. I shall smite thee.
What do? You're you're all out of goats. She left you for another man.
Fear not, my wayward child. Introducing Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles.
No goat? No problem. Just light one of these bad boys and let the sweet, savory scent of burning goat flesh rise up to the heavens.
Is that goat?
It's easy, it's fast, and deluxe models even have patented technology that produces a goat screaming sound as the wick burns.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented candles. Save a goat, burn a candle.
Father Flanagan's line of goat-scented flesh candles are part of our You Do You Jew interfaith outreach program.
When you sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. When the Lord requires that pungent smell, light a candle or you're going to hell.
All right, and we are back. Mostly. There we go. Let me do this. I actually know how to do stuff.
Ooh, look at there.
Oh, and now she comes back. There she is. There she is. There she is. Welcome back. Nice run. We made it. And I think what we will do is we will go ahead and we will do our scripture with Darante. I've been learning how to record these, so I don't have to do the thing. We'll do our scripture with Darante. And we'll talk about it, and we'll see what he's got for us today. He's always got good stuff. Let me see.
Oh, I know. I love the scripture of the day. I look forward to it.
What's up, folks? In today's scripture, we're going to be looking at Deuteronomy. It says, if a man happens to meet a virgin who is not pledged to be married and grapes her, and they are discovered, he shall pay her father 50 shekels of silver. He must marry the young woman, for he has violated her. He can never divorce her as long as he lives. Welcome back to Scripture of the Day, the segment where we open the Bible and realize this book has no business being called holy. In today's scripture, the Bible straight up says that if a man assaults a woman, he has to marry her. You heard me right. We're in Deuteronomy chapter 22, verses 28 and 29. And here's how God's so-called justice system works. A man grapes a virgin. If they get caught, he has to pay her father 50 shekels of silver, and then he has to marry her, and he can never divorce her. If they get caught. That is very important.
Yes.
Now, what kind of nightmare is this? You mean to tell me that a woman's reward for being assaulted is to be legally bound to her rapist? And let's be real, who's the real victim here? The woman? Not according to the Bible. The father is the one getting paid, because in biblical law, women were basically property. So no jail time, no exile, just a 50 shekel fine and a lifetime supply of Stockholm syndrome. And where is God in all of this? This isn't a human mistake. This is a law from God himself. The same God who supposedly created the universe, but this is his best idea for justice. And let's not forget, this wasn't just an Old Testament thing. Christian fundamentalists still use verses like this to keep women trapped in abusive marriages. And what about the rapist? Imagine this dude laughing all the way to the wedding altar. Hey, I just got a new wife, just cost me 50 shekels and a good time. So today's takeaway, if anyone tells you the Bible is a book of morals, just ask them, oh, you mean the book where the rapist gets rewarded with a wife? That's it for the scripture of the day. Stay skeptical, stay informed, and remember, if your holy book has a marry your rapist law, maybe it's time to throw it out.
Maybe. You should look into that. Look into that. Thinking.
Man.
It's interesting that.
Right?
You shouldn't say anything.
That's right. You be silent, woman. I permit not a woman to speak.
Sorry, couldn't help myself. God imposed upon me. Anyway. So interesting that the woman doesn't benefit herself from that. I want to mention that. And do you remember one of the stories I really like hearkening back to is the story of Abram and Sarai whenever they went down to Egypt and she did naughty with the Pharaoh.
Right.
Yes.
And they went away. And it tells us Abram was given a lot of, he got slaves and cattle and all this stuff, gold. He got rich.
Yes.
She didn't get anything. And she was the one that was rushed. Well, no, yeah. She gave them. That's what she gave.
Pharaoh.
Well, I don't know. She probably had a long, hard road ahead for her. But anyway, the point is that like what you were saying in your scripture there, she didn't actually benefit. She was a tool. She was an object of something that was, I don't want to say sold, because she was leased. He leased her putani, her lady parts.
Yep.
And for the price of her lady parts, he got all this stuff. And then whenever the lease was up, he just got her back.
Man.
Got to keep whatever else, but she was just there ready to be given away again later in Genesis chapter 20.
Man.
Crazy.
Richard,
Isn't that crazy? So Genesis chapter 12, in case since we're scriptures doing Genesis chapter 12 that I was referring to, in which the Pharaoh gets the crotch cooties from Abram and Sarai, and then that she gets, she doesn't get anything. And then Genesis 20, whenever, again, she's used as a token, as a lease. He tries to lease her out like a Avis. Avis rentals.
When you actually walk through Genesis story by story, especially from the time you get to the patriarchs, from Abraham down to Joseph, it's all about them stealing stuff from other people. Abraham is stealing from Egypt. Jacob is stealing from his cousin Laban, or his uncle Laban. And like one of the stories, even though when we preach it, Laban used him and did this, but the story literally shows how Jacob pretends that God does something. And Genesis tells us that it's actually Jacob doing it. And that's when Jacob is mixing the goats together to make sure that he gets all the good goats and Laban gets all the bad goats. And then he tells Laban that this was some magical thing that happened when he put the rod down. But the scripture actually tells us that Jacob manipulates this whole thing. And so it's all the way through. It's just like...
Feisty.
It's soap opera, man.
And it's scary because I feel like we're seeing a similar movement in that kind of direction, with women not being able to get divorced from their husbands when they're pregnant, and possibly forcing a woman maybe to get, that could be in the works, forcing a woman or person who's pregnant to get married to whoever got them pregnant. I see that coming. Again, like Chris said, that's not like doom and gloom and a doomsday prophecy. It's just recognizing the patterns. This is in the book, their blueprint that they love so much.
It's not being alarmist. It's look what they've done. They got power last time. They got rid of Roe versus Wade. They're doing all kinds of things that as soon as they got into power this time, they're going after women. They're going after trans people. They're going after gay marriage. They're going after gay marriage already. They're doing all these things, so it's just this cycle, all based on these scriptures that they seem to take, that gives them legitimacy, that tells them, because this is the theocracy being imposed upon us, it tells us that you as a woman are lesser than, and there's a place for you, and it is not beside a man, it's behind him.
Yep.
So thank you for scripture of the day. Appreciate that, John.
You're welcome.
Yay.
Okay, now let's see what we've got going on in the chat, man. I've really been
It's a moving
OB
and
Atheist says
grooving.
one of those. Yeah, I know. One of those stories I love rereading was David and Goliath. It read as if Goliath, as an old decrepit warrior, and David barely just stood far away and snipped him.
And there's two different stories with David and Goliath. One, David kills Goliath, and the other, it's his brother or somebody else. I forget the name.
Oh, yeah. Dang, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Good morning, Amy Cervantes. Nice to have you with us today. Adrian Belgrave, good morning. He says, that's true, Darante. Jacob wasn't the saint, but God still blessed him.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we were also, let's talk about it right from the beginning. Let's go back to Abraham. Abraham stole everybody's land. He took their land. He just came along and all of a sudden he's like, hey, and he says, I have a vision.
God said I could.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have a vision. It writes out in the chapter, it says, Abraham, he had a vision. The vision told him, go here and have this land, and go here and have this land.
Yep.
And that's what they're all about. They do that throughout this whole thing. They continue to steal, and from this person to this person. All these people that you would think would be villains in anybody else's story are, the psychopathic, horrific people. And yet in the Bible, this book of holiness, they're heroes.
Yep.
You know?
Which I guess is It's typically how political fiction works, right? Political fiction normally exists as a justification and a deification of those who came before, who often did horrendous things that now lead to whatever current prosperity you have. And so you create these political fictions to say, oh, these people weren't bad. They didn't come in and destroy all of the natives and the indigenous people. They came in and had potlucks and had Thanksgiving and everything, you know, just have. It's that we write these political fictions about our times to make us feel better about how we got what we got. And so you can kind of see that in the Bible of them taking these patriarchal ancestors and trying to rewrite their stories in a way of justification and deification. So it's almost like, and that becomes a major message of Christianity, is that God can use anybody. That becomes the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep. And of course, anything God does or anything God wants is good.
It's good by default.
By default. So it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's female oppression. It doesn't matter if it's unaliving people en masse. It doesn't. And it's really amazing that we don't have more people, more religious people here in the United States even, doing religious crimes based on their sort of belief system. Left-Handed Jedi says you posted something in the Discord, and I don't see it. And the other day you said you were posting something in the Discord, and I went and looked, and I didn't see it either. So what? If you don't mind, Left-Handed Jedi, let me know what
channel
room chat are you posting it in? Because I'm not seeing your stuff, and I want to. It sounds cool. Jesus fighting Godzilla. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is Jesus in a loincloth? Gotta know. He really should.
And is Jesus human size or Godzilla size? That I'd like to.
Ooh, Godzilla size in a loincloth.
In a loincloth.
Huh?
Oi. Or Godzilla size without the loincloth.
You just nasty. You just nasty.
Hey, Godzilla ain't got no clothes on.
That's right. That's right. So it's just like an uneven flex for Jesus to have underpants on. I'm just saying.
Oh, man. We're going to need a bigger cross.
Yeah, compassionate apostate.
Oh, I love that.
Remember, don't use a hammer and nail. DeWalt. Air gun. Get 3 or 4 nails in each hand. I'm just saying.
Now I'm imagining a Gulliver's Travel-sized Jesus, and all of the people are trying to get him back on the cross and with these like air guns. Blah, blah, blah.
Well, how about this? Not just the hands and the feet, but the testicles too. Nail them all, right? I think that's one thing they always somehow missed. I really think they should have included that. And who knows? Maybe they did, and they just didn't want to write it down. Share others' content channel.
Oh man!
Really? That's where it's hiding? Sure. I see that. Oh, don't look there. That would be too obvious. I did look there. I did look there. Did I not look there? I may not have looked there.
I can't wait.
Okay, I see. I get it.
That was very common,
sir.
Brooklyn Lou. Very common.
Oh, this is great. I want to share this.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
I know, right? There it is.
That was my understanding, Wes, that you had to put the nails in the wrist. Is that the hands that would just slide out? But then someone also said that they used to actually tie the hands too. That they tied and nailed. Oh, that is dope.
Yeah.
That is.
They tied the hands?
Yeah, I've heard that. No, I don't.
Oh, on the wood.
Yeah.
Oh, that would make sense. Yeah. Because it may just rip right out.
Yes.
Yeah, and just rip right out.
And then that's just, that's just hard to put back together.
That's buff Jesus.
Like the hell, that's buff Godzilla. Like, look at those pecs, man. Look at those.
What is his regime? I mean, does he do an after protein?
It looks like Godzilla gets ass, man. Go ahead, man.
He probably does. That's a robot Godzilla against a. Yeah, me too.
Oh man.
I like Godzilla.
That's
fantastic. That's pretty.
And Godzilla's fixing to light him up. Look at that right there. Anyway, all right. Thank you for sharing that. Is there another one? Or was that that was good. Okay, stop shedding. I dig it. I dig it. Thank you very much. Godzilla is swole.
He is swole.
Amy Nicole Cervantes says, in high school, there was a nun who bragged that she had a splinter that came from the cross.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to brag about. Like, you know, like you realize Christians never stop to think about the thing that they're saying. Like, if you truly believe Jesus was crucified on a cross, why would you want a piece of that cross? How do you think, like, when you get to heaven, like, how's that conversation gonna go? Hey, Jesus, I kept a piece of the thing that you were horribly murdered on. Just
I don't
to think
get it.
It's so odd, man.
That's why it's a death cult. I would never wear if a loved one got shot by a GUN, I would never wear a GUN around my neck.
Yes.
In honor of them.
Right.
If I wanted to honor them, I would have a picture or something else that reminded me of them, but not the object that took them out. That's
that's so odd.
It's just, it's really
It's like, oh, you need help. You need help.
Yeah. I like that.
Right,
I'm gonna go
dark.
It's very dark.
Oh, that's a good one. I should do that. Let's go here though. That is a great point. Amy Nicole says, just like wearing a cross. Oh yeah, wearing the cross around. Yeah, imagine Jesus was like electrocuted in the electric chair, and you go around with an electric chair, and then Jesus was to see you later, and he sees the electric chair.
You're wearing a capital punishment choker. It's weird.
Yeah.
No, it's like, no, that's just weird.
Oh man.
Goodness.
Yeah, I want to do a video on that. I'm making that a video.
Yes.
Video.
Yes.
Right
Mm-hmm. I've done videos on that. It will get it. I mean, you do get the Christian interaction.
Oh yeah, they like to talk, don't they?
They'll try to Fruit Loop you and jump through hoops and tell you that's not what it's about, and no, that's not what it means, and you know, whatever kind of.
I'm sure, little Billy.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. Okay. Calm down now.
Oh man.
I made a note. I made a note and I just typed it into ChatGPT just to make a note so later on I can work on it.
Yeah.
And it didn't see it that way. It saw it as a legitimate question.
Oh. No,
So we're going to have a little fun with this. Yeah.
Oh,
the
yes.
question was, why do Christians wear crosses? That was all I typed. And it says, they wear them as a symbol of their faith, but their irony is pretty thick when you think about it. That's the cross was an instrument of torture and execution used by the Romans specifically to kill criminals and rebels in a long, humiliating, and excruciatingly painful way. If Jesus had been executed by a guillotine or an electric chair, would Christians be wearing little golden versions of those around their necks? All I asked the chat was, why do Christians wear? Anyway, chat apparently is, you're biased, chat.
That's funny.
AI is woke. Yes, it sure is. There's something wrong with AI.
Yes, Mel Gibson made millions on a movie that was all about suffering, and Christians called it the best movie ever.
They did. Trauma porn.
Yeah.
They love
And
that trauma porn.
I laughed in the movie.
Claim. Did you? There's the claim that
baby thing.
Oh, baby, you should eat the baby. There's a claim that Jim Caviezel was hit by lightning while portraying Jesus. I don't know how true that is.
You know, that guy, I've heard a lot of really, I did a deep dive on him and I can't remember everything I learned, but some really
he ain't right.
Possibly, not good stuff when it comes to underage people allegedly.
Oh,
yes.
I didn't know that.
Tracks.
He is, you know, if you've ever seen The Count of Monte Cristo, great movie. He starred in that one, and I was really surprised whenever I found out that he was a full-blown right-wing Christian religious nutbag. I mean,
oh man, there's so many of them.
Yeah, he's a Zionist.
Yeah.
Oh,
and now, so he's got this whole where he played Jesus, and my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, friends, is they're gearing up for. I can't say it with. Passion of the Christ 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is it from a different angle or what's the deal? I really would like to I still think here's my thinking. This is my thinking. I want to stick to this until somebody proves me wrong. And I think probably anybody could. But, there's this thing about how, what did they do? It says, even this thing is long and brutal. They nailed them up there. They left them up there until they were unalived for all eternity. But not in Jesus's case. In Jesus's case, they stabbed him with the spear of destiny.
Okay.
And the purpose was to unalive him early so they could pull him off the cross. Before the Sabbath. But I don't think that's what happened. I think that it was just a fake. They stabbed him, pulled him down alive. It was just a tiny little stab. Boop. They pulled him down alive.
Like you see in the movies when they shoot themselves and to make it look like they got injured.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Well, I mean, it's a spear, so I mean,
Yeah.
you kind of do have to go a little bit to do some damage, Anyway, so they pulled him down alive. They took him. They tried to heal him. A few days later, he saw some of his little disciples, and he was all beat to shit. You know how he would be after going through all that. And his face would be all swole and infection all over. They're like, "Hey, you're not our guy." And he's like, "Yeah, look at the holes in my hands. I'm your guy." And they're like, "Wow, he's our guy." And then later on, he died from the infections. That's
Right.
It makes more
I like
sense than he
that.
actually.
I like that.
I mean, if you're going to say he was a real person and all this happened, then that makes totally more. I mean, apparently they rushed him to a follower's tomb. It was like a follower named Peter, but not that Peter, or somebody's tomb that was given. They're like, "Here, Pilate, we have a tomb ready for him that we can take." So they just rushed him down and they took him to this place. Sounds sus to me.
Makes you wonder.
And this notion that the Romans would be afraid, this guy that the Jews denied him.
Yeah.
And the notion is we got to pull him down, because if we don't pull him down before the Sabbath, the who is going to rise up? The Jews. Really? No, they didn't want nothing to do with him. They said, go do this. So they weren't going to rise up. This was all a thing to get him off the cross before he died and try to heal him and make him rise again. Because, the Messiah is not somebody who dies. The Messiah is supposed to survive. So I like my thinking. Professor Pinkel says he didn't exist, but there's a conspiracy theory about how he died, which I believe until somebody proves me wrong. Wow, how to unwrap that? He didn't exist. Yeah.
I don't think Professor Pinkel doesn't get the joke. He
doesn't.
I've noticed that about Pinkel a while. Yeah, or Pinky. Is he Pinky or Pinkle? He's Pinkle.
It's an intellectual exercise, and I'm having fun with it. That's what it is. It really is. If they make these claims, and I'm going to go, okay, fine. Well, if this is the case, we could actually say, let me give you this. Let me say Jesus was real. Let me say he was executed. Let me say he, rose again. These are more likely what happened. This is why they would take him down. This is why it's fun. It's like talking about Marvel and what Iron Man did, and what would happen if Iron Man hadn't got all the stones and only had gotten 4 of them. Could he still have won the battle? Who's dinging?
It's me, and I don't know how to turn it off. I'm not even lying. I'm trying to figure it out, and I really don't know.
That's okay. It's okay. So as long as it's not me, because that's the same one the evil one uses, and it's it's a fear response.
Honey, I'm coming.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh. Well, she generally uses it to let me know your audio is down, or there's an echo, or something like that. Or stop talking about your dick. She tells me that sometimes.
Actually, Pinkel, I'm not a mythicist. I'm an apathist. I did a whole video on it. But that's like the 100th time you'd made an assumption and it just was absolutely wrong. You should probably stop doing that.
Wait, who made an assumption?
Professor Pinkel.
Professor Pinkel.
Professor Pinkel, yes. Who is? That's okay. I don't really know where I sit on whether Jesus was a real person or not. I wouldn't throw money down on a table and bet on either one of those, because I don't know enough about the circumstances. I know Godless Engineer and Richard Carrier are very determined and very, very believe, based on their research, that he didn't exist at all.
Yeah.
Bart Ehrman is very sure he did exist. There are other people who fall somewhere between. I don't really know. What I like to do though, because this is a morning show, I'm not here to read ancient Greek scripture and interpolate and blah, 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 blah. I'm here to mock and have fun. And part of it is that we make fun of the inconsistencies in this things itself. So sometimes, like I said, I give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's say this happened, this happened, this happened. What's more likely though? If Jesus was real, I'm going to throw out the words if Jesus was real, if Jesus was captured by the Romans, if Jesus was crucified on the cross, if Jesus was pulled down off the cross, if Jesus was identified by people later who first didn't recognize him and then said, oh, okay, you're our guy, and then later was risen bodily into heaven, which is more likely? This is that we've thrown a lot of ifs out there, but those are your claims that those things happened as a Christian believer. Which is more likely? That my story is real, or Jesus was actually the Son of God and is embodiment of the God who created the entire universe? I think if you go with Occam's razor, my story is the more likely one, that, it was all just kind of a show. You see what I'm saying with that? Yep. But that doesn't mean I believe in Jesus.
Are you sure?
I'm giving you a lot of ifs there. We'll learn how to play with the ifs.
Yeah.
You atheists always pray to God whenever you're close to death.
Oh, okay.
That reminds me, we're coming up with Father Flanagan's line of atheist deathbed conversion Bibles.
Yes.
I'm going to be working on that commercial today.
That's going to be hilarious.
If I can just get Father Flanagan in the room with me. He's here. He is here. But yeah, we're going to be working on atheist deathbed conversion Bibles. Father Flanagan's is part of Father Flanagan's Sinner Gonna Sin Lack of Faith Outreach program.
That's going to be a number one seller, I promise.
Absolutely. I'm thinking so too. Sue Denham says, if the Son of God existed, there would be greater evidence. God isn't a chump. He would come with his A game if he existed. Here's the one to think, if I'm not mistaken, was it not John who said that if books were written about Jesus, or if all the miracles that Jesus performed were written down, they would fill all the books everywhere. They would fill every page. Here's something. Let me ask chat. Okay. Who said that all right, let's see here. Boop. Just kind of give it the general thing and let's see if it's going to go figure itself out. There's nothing more actual. All right. So here we go. I love being a smart person and knowing stuff. All of you Christians out there should try it sometime, especially about your own faith and religion. Let me read this to you. That comes from the Gospel of John 21:25, which says, Jesus did many other things as well. If every one of them were written down, I suppose that even the whole world would not have room for the books that would be written. NIV version. So, and yet, nobody wrote anything down.
Yeah.
Nobody. 0 people of the day wrote anything down. There's no contemporary evidence of Jesus at all, despite John saying that that's a lot of miracles. I would think somebody would have written that stuff down. Just saying. Right. Bible verse troll. I'm a Bible verse troll. What were you going to say?
I love to pick Bible verses apart.
Evil female. Yes, it's like a hobby, isn't it?
It is because you realize there's just far too many layers, and from one sentence to the next, or from one chapter to because the chapters didn't exist, but from one chapter to the next, there's conflicting stories that combat each other, and there is no way around it unless you cherry pick and you do the helicopter thing where you just land in a verse and then you pick up and you land in another verse and moving around.
And there sure is a lot of helicopter. I like that. Cherry picking is a great thing, but helicoptering sounds good. And Sue Denham says, yeah, Jesus didn't feel the need to write anything at all. That's an interesting point, Sue. Thank you for that. One of the things I want to point out is that, wait a second. Infidel says no cave paintings of their Savior. Isn't it interesting that even people, barbarous cave-dwelling people, wrote important shit on the walls?
Yeah.
Anywhere they could. They wrote it where they could, and all they had was the walls of caves. And yet nobody wrote anything about Jesus
Well, you know,
at the
that's
time of his life.
That's one of the things I've highlighted in many a conversation. Not only did Jesus not write a book, you know, but God, when he created Adam and Eve, this God who knows everything and knows exactly how everything is going to go, who decided to give Moses 10 commandments, did not decide to say, you know what, let me go and give you all a book to let y'all know how to handle these things. And it's very interesting. Like, how do you get an attachment to a book that nothing, the book doesn't even testify of itself. Jesus never says that, hey, in a few years from now, all of my disciples are going to write this book that y'all are going to need. Like, it's so odd. Like, damn.
Yeah.
They don't even cover all their tracks very well. Like,
No.
if I was going to try to cover my tracks, I would have done that. Like, be prepared because somebody's going to come along and say this. And then say the thing.
Yeah. I was watching a thing yesterday with, I found a new channel. It's Breakfast Tacos or Tacos for Breakfast or something like that.
Oh, I want
I was
taco now.
Yeah, it was a great show, and they were trying to get this. Oh, here it is, Breakfast Tacos. I'll post a link to his stuff. Go rate him. Go over there and subscribe, and tell him the Daily Atheist Morning Show, the amazing Super Chris sent you. But I was watching this show yesterday, and what they were doing, they were talking to P. Mark or P. somebody. I don't know, P. Tony, something like that. Anyway, they were talking to this guy, and what they were trying to do is like, listen, is there a set of rules your God has to follow? That was the question they were trying to pose to him. So, but the guy who was saying the question, forgive me if you're watching, guy who was saying the question he was not doing a good job of asking the question. It sounds like he was using way too many big words that this other guy just could not get. And then whenever the other guy's like, man, I don't understand what you're saying, he would go, okay, let me make it simpler for you. And then he would use other big words that the other guy wasn't getting, instead of just saying, listen, man, is there a set of rules your God follows? He's like, is there a subset of situations where there's your God and there's its set of things and there's this other set of things? I'm like, no, man, just ask him, is there? And here's why. I know this is where they were trying to get. If you believe in God, why couldn't God just forgive mankind? Why did he have to require all these things? Is there some God rule book out there that forces him to do these things? Or is he just capricious and mean? And I think that's where they were trying to go, but they just couldn't get the question across to the guy of, is there something outside that sets rules for your God?
Right.
Because when you look at it, they're like, well, why did God need Jesus' sacrifice for our sins? Why did one person have to go through all that whenever God could have just said? And because most of us weren't there, most of us had nothing to do with it. It's not like any change would have done anything. There's no reason to have his own
physical
son.
Change. There was
That's
nothing
right.
notable.
Unless you're a goat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, unless you're a sacrificial farm animal, you didn't really see a change. After Jesus, Christians stopped sacrificing farm animals.
Yep.
Goats, sheep, doves, whatever. So yeah, I mean, but otherwise, Jesus' sacrifice really didn't do anything. Yeah, let me see if I can find that. I was watching it just yesterday. It was a fun show. Your God is impossible. That's it. And see if I can find the name.
God is a sadist.
He is.
Yeah, I don't see his name on there. I don't know where it came in. Boop, 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 boop.
Evolution.
But P-Town. I think we've even seen P-Town here come in our chat. He's been blocked from our stuff before. And as I was watching this thing, P-Town was like, what started it, he was kind of grilling Breakfast Tacos. I don't know Breakfast Tacos' real name. He was grilling him. He was like, okay, so if you were there with Jesus and you walked with him and you saw his actions and you'd read all the prophecies and you understood them, and he would you then believe in God? And he just kept trying to pin Breakfast Tacos into saying he would believe in God. And Breakfast Tacos was like, yeah, I would believe in your God monster. And that would be the problem, because he's like, yeah, sure, if I were there, but the guy would just keep trying to narrow him down to where he would finally go, where even, all right, so okay, you believe in it, but now, though, that what it thinks is good and what it thinks is holy. So see how now he's kind of corralled him into where, so now what do you think about God? Well, according to what you just pinned me into, I think he's holy. And, and that's the way he just kept trying and trying to get this guy. It was very interesting to watch this kind of, I don't want to say debate. Yeah, sort of a debate, and then of course the other guy came in and started going at P-Town and going, okay, let me ask you a question about your God, And now here's what I started to think. Unfortunately, I didn't get in on the call. It was late, but my thinking was to the P-Town guy. Well, let's kind of reverse that. You have to make up all this stuff. You, Darante, you were there. You saw Jesus. You actually physically know all this evidence is true. Now do you believe? Okay, let's reverse that. You've been shown. You, P-Mart, whatever your name is, P-Town, you, P-Town, have been shown the science over and over again that says this is not true.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of science. Why do you still believe?
Yep.
That was kind of a missed opportunity. Why do they still? Because we have so much evidence that all the things that they claim, it's their claims.
Yep.
About evolution, about science, about their God, in fact, even. So that's kind of my thing. I should hang out with those.
I know. I definitely would have just thought, as soon as he would have started asking, if you saw these things in person, would you believe? My question would have been, well, my statement, like, there's nothing that Jesus does in the Gospels that demonstrates that he is God. There are people who say, you did this and only God can do that. That's a claim, but that claim still has to be verified. How do I know that only God can forgive sins? So when I read the story, there is nothing there that I see Jesus do that I don't see any other character in those type of stories doing at the same time. And so if that's evidence for Jesus being God, and if I am to receive that as evidence for Jesus being God, then I'd also have to receive that as evidence for Mani being God, for Zoroastria being God. And so, like, it's because it's actually not evidence. I'd just be like, no, it's a claim. When the disciples say no one would know this except for God, that's a claim they're making. That's not evidence that Jesus is God. And so they'd have a problem with me there. I'd stonewall the hell out of their asses.
Oh, right. he was doing, I think he was doing a really good job. Breakfast Tacos was, because he's like, all right, so fine, all right, so I believe in your God monster. And then he would just kind of go, okay, fine, but it's still a God monster. And it did this, it does this, it does this, and that's where it starts to get, okay, yeah, but now what if you have to accept that whatever this God does is good? And I'm like, dude, don't.
Yep.
Because he's just trying to. I mean, in the chat, I'm like, Breakfast Tacos, don't let him pin you in. Like this guy doesn't need me, right? And he didn't. He got him. I was very happy with that.
Man.
P-Mart. No, it's P-Town, I think, this time. There's a lot of different. If I go into my YouTube studio, let me do this real quick. It's worth it. And I don't think it'll take very long. Going into my settings and find my community. There's quite a P-Marts or P-Towns or some business. I think it's all the same guy. And he's been blocked from my stuff here. Let's go to community moderation. Oh, yeah, let's share this, everybody. Can we see here? Boop, 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 boop. I'm going to go here. And you'll see probably why I call him P-Mark. Come on, Chris, you can do it. Where's your cameras, man? Where's your cameras? There it is. Okay, boop. And we're going to go with studio. Share. Okay, so here, this is on our block list. We've got P-Mars right there versus atheism. P-Mars lives in Jamie Brown's chat. Let's see if it's going to be nice. These are the ones, again, that have been blocked. So if you see somebody on here, P-Mars, comments from space. P-Mars, socks matter. If you see any family members in here. There's Dane, one of Dane's. Why ban P-Mars?
That's funny.
So I guess he changed his name to P-Town, unless there's other P people of a weird kind of nature. And we may even get to the other P people. Apparently, though, he's persistent, sort of like his messenger. who kept changing his food. Just come on, keep on trying.
Yeah.
P.
there's a
Mars
word
in the
for those
house.
kind of people.
Yeah, here's his messenger. Good to see you there. There's his messenger reveals. Now, I bet you guys are holding hands and kissing and whatnot in our block list. Christ brings a sword. What a fancy name.
Wow.
And 90 P. Mars lives matter. So as you can see, without going further, there's no hyperbole here. I am not exaggerating. I don't know how he got blocked so many times. I don't remember him. Probably my wonderful, wonderful moderators have done that for us. I see people looking for burritos. I need a cup of coffee. I'll throw you guys out there with the Pharaoh's curse, and we'll take a little break. And when we come back, we'll mock and we'll laugh and we'll blaspheme some more.
Ooh.
I have it written on the list to blaspheme. We'll be back.
Mi burrito es tan bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. El ataco fue no bueno, it stings like a bee. They told me she was his sister, now I'm plagued between the knees. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. Mi burrito está no bueno, a full bladder I fear. Abraham's lies and Sarai's touch have left me itching front to rear. Mi burrito está no bueno, it burns when I pee. Abraham had the crotch cooties and gave his sister wife to me. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, a case of penile plague. I've got the Pharaoh's curse, there's fire between my legs.
All right, and we are back. Vic Litt says, I can't remember what joke started the Pharaoh sombrero rhyme for this song's video concept. I will tell you, since you're there and want to know. The Pharaoh sombrero, I used to just, if I'm busy or something like here, I'm kind of distracted. I'm like, mi burrito está no bueno. And that's all I had for the longest time. Let me go here. And, so bum, 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 that's all I had. And then one day I was on the show and I said, mi burrito está no bueno. And I followed it up with, it burns when I pee. And then I said, for some reason, it's a love song. And that was what became the joke for the longest time. From then on, whenever I was distracted or something, I'd be like, mi burrito. And I think we lost Rion. Too much burrito talk.
Oh, no.
But then one day, whenever I was doing the commercial, I was like, what do I make the song about? And then I kind of put together about how, oh, there she is. about how Abram and Sarai had the crotch cooties, and it all came together. And his burrito, I was like, Abram's burrito, not Abram's burrito though. The Pharaoh's burrito, and that's why the Pharaoh has a sombrero. So it's mi burrito estano bueno. That's the Pharaoh singing. It burns when I pee.
Poor Pharaoh.
Abram had the crotch cooties
He got
and
tricked.
gave his sister wife to me. And then I just went to the AI place and I made AI stuff.
Man.
Just like that.
That's just like that. That's how the magic happens. My juicy brain was on it.
Now you just got to get your juicy brain dripping again.
Ah, yes. Actually, I'm really glad I've got scripts ready to go, ready to record. I am very ready. I am very, very ready. With any luck, I'll have new. Of course, some of them are, yeah. I've got good stuff coming. I just got to get my focus on. Get my focus on. Let's see Darante singing that song. He probably could. We could just send him the chords and he could knock it out. You know? But it had more of a Southern church vibe, I think.
Oh, man.
Sue Denham says, it doesn't matter, Professor, since you're accepting words as sufficient evidence. Professor, still being less than a professor. What kind of professor are you? Just curious. When I first saw the name Professor Pinkle in the chat, I was like, all right, an erudite. I was mistaken. Anyway.
Good point, Ember.
Ooh.
Is Ember here? Did Ember sneak in?
Yeah.
My thing is the fact mythicism even exists is a nail in the Christianity's coffin. Good point. Or cross. Because if they can't put that theory to bed by demonstrating he even existed, that's pretty bad.
Yep.
A lot of scholars kind of laugh at you if you even say, well, if he exists, like they're just like, you're so dumb. I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm just saying that there could be a possibility that it didn't exist.
And at that moment, that's just not a position of scholarship. That's not a position of logic. Understanding how Christianity spread historically and the way violence has been used, it should be reasonable to conclude that, yes, this could have been a state-supported lie. This could... And so for people living in 2025 to say no one could possibly think that automatically lets me know you're simply arguing from your own incredulity. Because if you weren't, instead of pointing to your incredulity, you just point to the evidence. And that's the thing that nobody can do. When they're arguing for Jesus' existence, they have to make the same tired arguments they make for God. You just have to take my word for it. And ain't nobody got time for that. And it just ain't that important.
Go read about Serapis.
Right?
Just go read about Serapis and Ptolemy and then get back to me.
Adrian Belgrade said, thank you, Chris, Darante, and Ruth for another engaging morning.
Who's Ruth?
Ryan. I don't know why.
Maybe I'm
That's
Dr.
cool.
Ruth.
Maybe wasn't there a Ruth in the Bible?
Oh, yeah, Naomi's daughter-in-law.
Yes.
Evil, problematic female. Thank you, Left-Handed Jedi, for the $5 super chat. Says there was a truck that sold fish tacos. The signage read, if it's shaped like a taco and smells like a fish, it must be good. My understanding is medically they're not supposed to smell like that. That's bad. Just saying. But yes, thank you for the $5 super chat. That's interesting. I don't normally eat fish. My hope is generally when I do eat fish, it doesn't smell like fish. Let's see here. Professor Pinkle, no, it isn't reasonable to conclude that. The scholarly consensus.
This dude says the evidence is the Gospels. That literally, dude, why is this dude here? He said the evidence is the Gospels. I could not.
He said it. I could not. Serious like.
Oh, what the Gospels are evidence for Jesus.
For Jesus' existence. Yes. And then he goes on to mention Paul. God damn it. Oh, man.
Okay.
Skywalker is real as well.
Right?
Wow. So So Professor Pinkle, no rebuttals. Okay, here's your rebuttal. None of the Gospels were written within a lifetime of Jesus, within 60 years of Jesus's supposed life. None of them. They can't be taken as legitimate sources. They cannot. It was 60 years plus, 60 years in our time plus. 60 years ago, brother, somebody claimed, Jesus didn't write it down, somebody else claimed. So you heard a story today and you write it down. And you now feel like that's good enough proof. Because that's what you get when you use the Gospels. They weren't written anywhere near Jesus' lifetime. Now you want to talk about Paul. Paul even admits he never met Jesus. He only encountered Jesus in a vision. So you're basing your entire belief system, everything you base your belief system on is incorrect as posed by you here in my chat. So do you now, have you deconverted here with us? Go look it up yourself. Don't take my word for it. I'm just some jackass on the internet. Go look up when the earliest Gospels were written. Sorry, Jack Buddy. Papa's getting excited. Go look up when the earliest were written, and then go ask Chad or go look up whether or not Paul ever met Jesus or was ever met Jesus. And then you will know that all the things that you have based on Jesus, none of them are real. Josephus wasn't born until like 60 years after Jesus. Same thing with Tacitus, 70 some odd years. So he claims to be an atheist. Well, he's not a very educated atheist.
No. I mean, if he believes the Gospels, like I don't even know what type of category to put him in at that moment.
Right,
That's
a lie.
Yikes. Yeah.
Because if you say that's like this one guy in my chat was like, I'm not a Christian. And then he said, Christ is the way, and my relationship with Jesus Christ is better than those that other Christians or those that Christians have. I'm like, oh, and you're not a Christian.
No. But it's like people like, I'm not religious, I have a relationship. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, whippersnapper.
Yeah, Giles says, Josephus, did he mention Josephus?
He did. He mentioned Josephus and Tacitus.
I didn't even have to read that. I knew it was coming, huh?
Yes.
I saw it. Where did he? You should just go away and stop embarrassing yourself. Chris made some crawfish cornbread. You made some crawfish cornbread. It does not smell like fish. No. Don't send me anything fish related. No. I have an address there. Send me things. Don't send a bell. I can put her up here on the wall for the soul swords. That way, whenever somebody purchases a soul sword, if they're not completely satisfied with their purchase, after they pass 1 hour, they have to ring the bell. Send one of those. I'll put it on the wall. But otherwise, don't send me cornbread or any kind of crawfish.
Is there a consensus when it comes to who Crestus was? So is Crestus, again, I guess, Jesus?
Oh, Crestus, yes.
Because isn't that what Tacitus says? I thought Tacitus says Crestus.
He says Crestus. He does.
And I'm not saying it's not Jesus, but I'm saying does somebody have like a connect, like an actual thread connection to Jesus being called Crestus, so we know that? Or does Crestus, is that just how you spell Christ? I don't know. I just don't know.
It wouldn't have been, but Christians have definitely tried to just kind of monopolize it and say, yeah, it's the same thing. It's one letter off. But that's not how linguistics work, especially for a name that exists around the same time period. And I mean, like, even if it was several hundred years removed, just one vowel change, yikes. But yeah, it's because, and there's a few more like that where pretty much anything Christians have found that looks like it could possibly be related to Jesus becomes, oh yeah, this is Jesus. There's an ancient depiction of a stick figure guy with a donkey head on a cross. And Christians are like, yeah, this is proof. They're talking about Jesus here. This is obviously Jesus.
Oh, is that like the first graffiti of,
yes.
of Jesus?
Yes.
I forget where that's from, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, Pragmatic Crystal. Thank you for joining us this morning. Praggy, how are you doing? It's nice to see everybody who's joined us today. Greg S. is here. Busty Crustaceans from a crusty bus station.
Oh, I love that.
That seems like a warm-up for acting.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Infidel says, Crestus, didn't he fight the cavity peeps? Yeah, probably did, huh? Yeah. If you're old enough,
really
you get
out.
that one.
Oh man.
Sue Dinneman says those historians were describing what some people believe. They weren't a confirmation of the belief. That's true. See, I'm looking here. Does that individual? Good morning, Wes. Producer Wes is here.
Yes.
Plutarch writes about the kinds of people, Heracles, all this stuff, and that's kind of cool. They also. I'm looking for his responses. Maybe somebody timed him out. Or he left.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Anyway, yeah,
tempted.
so much for that. Was it too much with that truth stuff?
Hey, got him.
Got him.
Like, oh, la, 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 la.
They be begging for attention, but then when they get it, man, they bow out really quick.
Yeah, we're like, well, okay. Remember, they were like, you insult, and then, but don't give any arguments. Okay, let me give you some arguments. And then they're like, oh. Hey, but really, kidding aside, if that's what you're going to base your beliefs on, is the Gospels.
Yeah,
And to claim you're a Christian.
No, even worse, to claim you have a PhD, to claim that you are a historian. Like, he was making all types of claims through here.
Oh, yeah, he's
man.
back. Says he's placed in. Well, there is a 1 minute. Is there a 1 minute? No, I don't think we have timeout. So somebody may have timed you out for something you said. I don't know.
Man.
Ace Trades, good morning. Nice to have you with us. Jester is here. Nice to have you. Gosh, all the cool kids are here. We had a rocket show today. I'm going to pull up our super chats and read them real quick. PhD professor. But
he got it from Trump University.
Yeah, no doubt. There's one here in the Southwest. It's a Christian university, and they do these nursing classes. You'll see these ads for these nursing classes. I'm like, oh man, I'd be scared if I knew a nurse came from a religious university like that.
Oh man,
what's the name of the place? Grand Canyon University, some business.
That sounds familiar. Yeah,
it sounds like that. I want to check on our.
Does make you wonder.
It does. You do. We had 69 votes, a good number. Absolutely. The question of the day was, do you think Christianity meets the criteria of a death cult? 86% of our respondents, obviously, who lean our way, said yes. 3% said no, it's just about faith. 10% maybe, but that's a stretch. So that was interesting.
That is interesting.
I wonder who watches our show. Oh, here's this other one. Let me close this poll. I want to see end poll. The question was, is it going to show me what the question was? Doesn't it show me? Damn it. Oh, there it is. Have you shared the stream to help us grow? Yes, 48%. Thank you all very much for sharing. 43% said love to, but I don't do social. Got that. And then 7% said no, you guys suck. Not worth it. I'm glad I remembered to read that out. All right, so now I want to do our little fan funding here.
Oh, man.
Motley for £2 said Chris has a discharge. Time to burn a goat. Or, get a cream. Take a pill. Mom Poppy
make some insertions for that.
Ooh, they probably do. That's probably very painful, though, I would imagine. I don't know. I don't want to go there. I don't. Interesting. Bomb Poppy for $10 said jellicle particle. My mornings have been so much better since I found the show. Thanks, y'all.
I love that.
Heart can't get enough, or can I get fireworks? Ryan. There's laser.
How did I do it again? Was it this?
It was this. Well, no, that did the confetti.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
Fireworks.
That's
fireworks.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you for that. That's awesome. And then Left-Handed Jedi for $5 said there was a truck that sold fish tacos. The signage read, if it's shaped like a taco and smells like a fish, it must be good. I used to do this thing. I used to have this little saying where it's like, if it smells like a fish, make it a dish. If it smells like cologne, leave it alone. That was something I picked up when I was a kid. Probably it's anti-gay is what it is, sort of thing. And I remember saying that to a doctor person, smells like a fish, make it a dish. And he's like, listen, man, I got to tell you, if you ever get near one and it smells like fish, that's not good. Don't do that. And that's always stuck with me. That's further than you guys ever wanted to know on the show. Sue says, Yes. Sue says dishonest. No consensus for Jesus walking on water or being resurrected. You guys ain't right. But some people are funny. Can't stand to hear a person with actual relevant expertise. You have relevant expertise. Grand Canyon University. Yes, that's right, Sith Lord. Thank you for that. Grand Canyon University. I mean, they're probably a legitimate school. But the fact that I know what they are. I know what you are.
Mm-hmm.
They're a church.
That's like me trusting PragerU.
Pretty much.
In my opinion.
But honestly, a lot of colleges in the U.S. are churches masquerading as colleges. Quite a few. My alma mater is definitely one. Like the chancellor of the university, he's going to make sure that everybody knows how to pray, that everybody knows how to be good Southerners. Like this is like I've been to over 20 different schools in my lifetime, K through 12, dysfunctional family. And in every single one of them, the majority of my teachers were believers and had no issue with sharing their faith in class, ministering to other students, trying to identify students who may have come from non-faith backgrounds and trying to convert them. Many of them saw it as their personal mission to be in those schools, to show those children the love of Jesus. And many of them succeeded.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I want to say hopefully things will get better, but apparently it's just like in Star Trek, man. It has to crumble now before we can grow into the fine Federation Starfleet that we're going to be.
I started picking up on season 3 of Next Generation.
Awesome.
Yes.
That's good. Now I got to ask, since we mentioned it, where are you, girl? Where are you at in the show?
In which? Oh gosh, what was the last episode I watched? One of the last few episodes I watched was with the Borg.
Was it the first one with the Borg?
No, it was the one with Picard.
Where Picard becomes the Borg?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that from when I was a child.
I like it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so sad. And I've gotten beyond, because he's spoken about like he's trying to, heal and recover.
Get
and
over
went
that.
To, yeah. So I've got a little bit beyond that, but that was like, felt so bad.
Wolf359, thank you for that. Left-handed Jedi, that's true. Best of both worlds. That's the name of the episode. Yeah, and that's where they get that 1 second captain in there, Captain. Oh, he's played by Bobby Cox. He does a great job, and a lot of people are really torn. They like him. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up the show. We'll talk sci-fi again later. You guys were you going to say something? You were going to say something?
No, I was just kind of making a face to Viclet because, I can't help but be animated. They were saying that I can watch DS9 now. I'm
sorry? Say what again? DS9, you have my attention.
That's what Viclet said. Ryan Cultastic, sounds like you can watch DS9 now.
Yeah. If you feel like it, you could just type in the Google, Star Trek watch order.
Okay.
Next Generation, DS9,
right.
Voyager, what watch order to watch. It'll tell you because you can watch an episode of this one, then an episode of this one, and follow them in line. One will stop, the next one you'll have like a season all by itself of DS9, and then Voyager will pick up.
Okay.
If you want to do that, but really, just watch TNG. When it's done, go back and watch DS9, then watch Voyager.
Okay,
that's the order. That's what I do. I'd keep it easy on you. You know what I mean? Okay, guys, we're gonna go do that voodoo that we do so well. We'll see you all tomorrow, Friday. Have a wonderful day. Sin safely, my friends. Take care.
Got a house that smells like old cheese and shame. Father Flanagan's flesh candles change the game. Goat-scented thrills for your soul's delight. Light it up, baby, make your room right. When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the set the tone. Confession booths, busy, no need to stress. Light a candle and forget your mess. Gross odors vanish like sins in the wind. With each wick, guess who's your new best friend? When you've sinned and need to atone, light a candle and avoid the stone. Smell the ghost in a holy zone. Father Flanagan here to set the tone. Lambs and calves may have their day, but goats, the scent that leads the way. Clean your slate with a sniff so pure. Father Flanagan's got the cure. Turn your home into a saintly space. With every whiff, find redeeming grace.